Okay, injury front, really only update Tevin Jenkins is day to day with that shoulder injury. So we'll see how he responds in the next 48 hours or so as we get ready for the week. Obviously that ball game is disappointing to start that way. You're down 14-0 in the first quarter, and then trying to dig out of that hole, and that's hard to do on the road versus a good football team. So we came up short. We got to own that and watch the tape and look at it and learn from it, and find a way to correct some of those things that happen early in the game, so that you can be in that game and give yourself a chance to win that game. So that's our focus. But I'll take any questions you guys got.
All right, first question will go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, after watching the film, what were your impressions of Shedeur? How he played?
Yeah, obviously some good throws down the field, made some explosive plays. There's definitely plays that he wants back that he can be better, whether it's a decision or a ball or those type of things. But I thought he fought till the end and has the right attitude that he'll just keep learning from all of these experiences.
And those two interceptions, not the one to Jerry, the other two, what did you see on those? Was the first one a good play by the defense, or should he see the guy dropping there?
Yeah, it's always, I think you learn from all those, Scott. And at times you tip your cap to the defense and you say they made a play. And other times you talk to the quarterback, hey, could be footwork, could be who you're keying, could be decision, all those things. I do think you have to give them credit and say that they're making plays. But I think how we coach our guys is, hey, next time we did it, here's some things that we would do differently. But obviously that's going against a good defense that takes the ball away. You got to give them credit as well.
Thanks.
All right, next we're going to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, after a sort of a blowout loss like that, and with where you guys stand with everything right now, have you been given any assurances by management that, that your job is safe or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't get into those type of things, Mary Kay. I would just tell you, my focus, our football team's focus is solely on the Buffalo Bills, and obviously watching the tape today, that's our focus. But that's all we really care about.
So you haven't asked for anything like that, for, any kind of a vote of confidence that you'll be able to continue on after this or anything?
Yeah, I'm not going to get in those type of things, Mary Kay. Not my focus.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we're going to Daniel.
Kevin, I wanted to ask for a clarification on what happened with Shedeur's wristband yesterday. After you went up at the podium, he said that a card fell out, but the sideline reporter for Fox said that their cards were being swapped out. Like, could you kind of just provide some clarity
Yeah.
on? It seems like two different answers from you guys.
Yeah. What happened was the obviously had the wristband. It was good on the first drive. At some point after the first drive, one of the cards must have fallen out of Shedeur's wristband. So when he went to that panel to look for it, it wasn't in there. Obviously grabbed it. We have Bailey on the sideline, have Dylan on the sideline where he can swap out and grab their wristband. So you always have to be prepared for those type of things. You have to be prepared for if the headset goes out, you have to have those automatics that you have to get to if the headset goes out. And similarly, while that's very rare, you have to be ready if something like that were to occur.
And that's the reason why he had to kind of get the call from you from that one play. Like, I guess the headset had gone out at that point, right?
That's right, exactly. So just I was giving him the wristband number, but like I said, the coach to quarterback wasn't out, so you can still communicate that way until 15 seconds.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to Jeff.
Kevin, with all the injuries you have on your offensive line, I don't know if any of those guys will be back, but how do you prepare a game plan knowing that your line is not what you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I don't look at it necessarily that way, Jeff. We the guys who are available come Sunday, we go to battle with them, and we work really hard during the week to make sure we have contingency plans and guys are ready to go. Backups stay ready, and that's what we do.
Well, then how does that affect your run blocking yesterday in particular?
Yeah, I would just tell you, anybody who's in there, we trust them to get their jobs done. And we as coaches are always thinking about ways that we can put our guys in positions to have success.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we go to Cam.
Kevin, kind of off of that, similar with the offensive line in particular, the injuries that you have, how does that maybe change the way that you are able to evaluate different positions outside of just the offensive line? I know that these are things that come with the game, but when you're trying to evaluate the production level of a running back or a quarterback, like how do you navigate that with maybe a line that's not full of starters that you typically would have?
Yeah, I think again for us, Cam, is the guys that are in there, we trust them. We're focused on the game that's in front of us. We're worried about getting production in the next ball game, not so worried about evaluation, quote unquote. We're just trying to make sure that we give our guys a chance in every one of these ball games.
And then when you're looking for that production for that next week, when you have games where Jerry Jeudy doesn't come down with that ball, obviously want him to hold himself accountable, you want to hold him accountable. What does that look like in terms of making sure it doesn't spiral into something and trying to, but while still maybe holding players accountable for things that happen on the football field?
Yeah, I think our players understand this game. It's a 60-minute game, and there's plays in every game that you're going to want back from a coaching perspective, from a playing perspective. All we ask and what our guys give is everything they got. Not to say that we're going to be perfect, but we'll just keep fighting when there's time on the clock.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Daniel.
I also wanted to ask about the pressure rate in Shador's 4 starts. I think it's at 43%, which is, top 2 in the NFL. Obviously, like the offensive line has gone through a lot of changes with injuries and whatnot. But when you're looking at it, like how much is falling on the offensive line? How much is it guys not, separating early enough? How much is it Shador holding on to the ball? Like, what are you seeing that's resulting in the highest pressure rate in the NFL in his 4 starts?
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to each one of these games presents different challenges. Each defense is different in how they're playing the game, how they deploy fronts, how they deploy coverages, if you will. So we're focused on trying to give our guys a game plan that we can go execute, play fast, and go find a way to score points. And there's going to be varying factors to each one of those games, whether it's the opponent, whether it's guys that are available or unavailable, and we just got to do our jobs and give our guys a game plan to go let them play fast.
So there hasn't been like a commonality or a common link that you've seen in Shador's 4 starts that can, you know, that you kind of focus on in terms of, limiting the pressure rates.
Yeah, obviously our focus for our passing game is to keep the quarterback clean and obviously get the ball out on time. There's various ways and various play types to get into, Daniel, to try to mitigate pass rush, but it's so dependent on the team you're playing and the challenges that they present.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering with Bill Musgrave talking to us about how Deshaun kind of stepped up last week and he took on some scout team and some other things like that. As you guys move closer through that 21-day window, are you getting ready to, or, put him on the 53-man roster anytime soon?
Yeah, I would say not my focus, Mary Kay. For right now, I'm very, very pleased with the progress that Deshaun's making on the field. In the classroom, he's doing a really good job.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, do you expect any of the guys that didn't play Sunday due to injuries to be able to go this week?
I'm hopeful on some of these guys, Scott, but not entirely sure yet. I think we got to get through the next couple of days, see how everybody's responding to some of the rehab that we're doing, and I'll have a better answer for you on Wednesday.
Okay, and then with the run game, it hasn't been consistent throughout the year, right? There's been good weeks and bad weeks. One of the bad ones was yesterday. Have you been able to identify just why it hasn't had the consistency I'm sure you're looking for?
Yeah, I wish it was one thing and you could fix one thing, but we just, in order to have success via the air or the ground, you have to be really sound in everything you're doing. And it's on us as coaches to give these guys a plan that they can go execute. And then obviously, you want to give your guys, put them in advantageous positions. Sometimes you're going to go up against good defenses and that type of thing, but that is definitely a focus for us, is finding a way to be efficient and explosive on the ground.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Jeff.
Kevin, what are the challenges for you as a head coach to keep your players playing hard in a season when you guys are now 3-11?
Yeah, obviously we know what our record is. We understand that. We don't hide from that. You own it. But we also know how important this game is to us, and the work that has to go into it each week, and what we pour into it each week. The payoff is going out there on Sunday and playing and coaching. So we get where we are. Not going to hide from that, but that's not, part of what we do is going to compete, and that'll never change.
Thank you.
All right, we go back to Daniel.
Hey, Kevin. Like when you look at these 4 starts with Shedeur, it seems like teams have been kind of reluctant to blitz him, and maybe that's because of what he showed in that Raiders game, beating the cover 0 blitz and stuff like that. But they're playing a ton of zone coverages. So what has maybe given him and the offense struggle when facing those zone coverages, and what do you have to be better at in terms of executing in the pass game against those zone coverages? And maybe why are teams playing like almost 50% zone coverage against him instead of, blitzing and playing man?
I can't speak to the why. I would just tell you, in the pass game, whether it's man, whether it's zone, whether it's 1 high, 2 high, blitz, no blitz, sim blitz, all the above. Obviously, we have to be on the same page in all areas, whether it's protection, whether it's routes run, decision making, you name it. So we're working very hard, certainly, to get everybody in those areas. And when you're going up against zone defense, and again, various types of zone, but when you're going up against zone defense, you have to be great in those zones and at your route depth, at where you're supposed to be. And quarterbacks making great decisions versus those zones. So it's multifaceted to have success versus zone in the pass game.
Thank you.
All right, Mary Kay, do you have one more?
There we go. Yes. Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, you talked a little bit about this after the game yesterday, but you kind of alluded to the fact that a rookie quarterback is going to have maybe a game like this, or is going to have some setbacks. And it's not always just going to be an upward trajectory when you're developing these young guys. So just wanted you to address that notion a little bit. And, was a game like this maybe expected, or did you anticipate it? And why is the sky not falling after something like that?
Yeah, sky's not falling. I think with young players, Mary Kay, there's growing and there's learning that happens. And, you look at history for, I don't care what the position is, but look at history in terms of young players. And sometimes there's moments that aren't going to go your way, and you learn from those. So that's no different for any position, no different for Shedeur versus any other player. There's going to be really good games. There's going to be games you want back. There's going to be plays you want back, great plays. So I look at it for a young player to be able to go into a really tough spot, have some really good moments, some moments that you want back. We'll learn from those. We'll grow from those, and we'll be better from those.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we'll let you know when Harold or Mammud's on the way. Harold's on the way, guys, if you want to get some questions together. All right, everyone, we have Harold Fannin here. If you have questions, raise your hand and we'll call on you. First question will go to Ashley.
Hey Harold, I guess first just another start with Shador. I know you were his favorite target yesterday. He got you like 14 times. Like how did you think of the job he did and especially given all the adversity facing you guys with the weather and stuff?
Uh, you know, I feel like, he done his best. Obviously, some stuff we want to clean up, some stuff that I still got to do to get better, for him and, for the rest of the team.
What are some of those things that you think you need to clean up?
Uh, just kind of watching back on the tape, just being more decisive in my routes, setting my angles so you can have a clear picture.
Thank you.
All right, next one, Mary Kay.
Yeah, Harold, just wondering, when you're getting so many targets like that, the way that you did, nobody else got more than 4 in that particular game. Does it make it maybe a little bit harder for you to function out there because you're getting attention and they're looking at you and therefore, maybe a ball is more likely to get picked off because they know it's going to you? And if so, what do you think that you guys can do as you head into this Bills game?
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, since you got so many targets, 14 targets, nobody else got more than 4.
Mm.
What do you think that you guys might need to do heading into the Bills game so that there's not as much focus on you from the defense, where they can kind of maybe know the ball is going to you, anticipate it, and then you're going to be more likely to, have somebody lurking around ready to pick it off?
Uh, I don't know. I really don't know. I just do what I'm told to do. And, if the ball comes my way, it comes my way. That's all I can control.
In a perfect world, do you think it would help everyone if you guys maybe could spread it out a little bit more, or, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like, of course, we try to spread the ball around. It just happened to be a game for me where I got, more targets than everybody else.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next one, Scott.
Hey, Harold, on those 2 interceptions that were thrown in your direction, what did the Bears do there? Did they confuse you guys with their coverage, change something at the last minute?
Um, Maybe a little. I feel like them was just 2 really good plays on their ends. Uh, yeah, that's all I can really say. Them was just good plays on their end.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Ashley.
Yeah, Harold, just wondering when David Njoku's not out there, like what's your mentality then? Does it change at all when you guys are down a tight end or anything like that?
Nah, I'm gonna go out there every game, give it my all, play my best. Obviously, we'll want David out there because we all know what he's capable of.
Thank you.
All right, next go to Cam.
Hey Harold, how have you seen this team over the past several weeks kind of respond to losses, respond to the adversity you guys have faced and some of the things that aren't going your way? How has this team as a whole responded throughout this process?
Yeah, I feel like it brought us closer, in the locker room. Um, Obviously, I know these guys, they're still playing their hearts out, just by the way they come in ready to work every day.
And for you, I've asked a couple guys, I mean, at this point of the season, right, you're not in playoff contention, you're just kind of looking for a win, but you personally, like, what are the things that you are playing for? Some guys say that they're pride of their name, some are just the development. What is it for you?
I guess the same thing, really. Just playing for my team and, putting good stuff on tape and, just looking for something to build off of.
Thank you.
All right, Mary Kay, you have another question?
Yeah, sure. So just wondering, Harold, with you guys knowing that Shador is finishing out the string and starting the final 3 games, does that help you guys kind of know what the situation is so that you can really focus on getting better, working together, and how do you think he'll bounce back from that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll bounce back pretty fine. Like I said, like I know the work these guys can put in, and you know, um, yeah.
Okay.
All
Thank
right, so go to Scott.
Hey, Harold. After the game, Shadur talked about it, and then Kevin did just a little bit ago. The issue with the wristband. How much confusion was there when Shadur looked down and didn't have what he needed on his wrist?
I mean, be honest, I didn't know. I mean, he still went out there and called a play. We still went out there and got lined up. So I'll say he didn't look confused at all.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Ashley.
Yeah, that was kind of along the lines of my question, I guess, Harold, the 12 man on the field penalty when you like ran off. Was there just confusion because of that when that happened?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, got the personnel. It was pretty loud. I should have, went out earlier, but I didn't realize that until obviously when I did. So yeah.
Thanks.
All right, last call for questions for Harold. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Harold.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, everyone, we have Mammud on the way. If you want to get questions together, we will call on you. All right, everyone, we have Mammud here if you want to get questions together. Mammud, you good to go? I'm gonna unmute you. You got on mute.
Yes, I'm good to go.
Cool. All right, first question will go to Cam.
Mammud, Miles, after the game, said that obviously you guys wanted to get off to a faster start, and that was kind of the downfall of what happened defensively. Did you feel like was there a concerted adjustment maybe at halftime or even before that was reflected in from that not so fast start?
I don't really understand your question. Can you kind of try to rephrase it?
Miles said after the game that one of the things that went wrong with the defense was just not getting off to a fast start, that
Yes.
going down 14-0. Do you feel like there was a concerted effort, or was it just playing in that game that made it feel like you maybe getting back on track defensively in that one?
Yeah, I feel like, in the game of football, when things start to get a little rough, especially in the beginning, things tend to settle and you can get your footing and see the things that the offense are trying to do and get used to it and kind of settle in as a defense.
And then for you in that regard, what were you guys able to do maybe differently in terms of stopping the run a little bit for them, and how can you carry that forward through these next couple weeks?
I mean, stopping the run is just really about physicality, coming, setting the run, and setting the edges and tackling. And I think over the year, as a whole, we've done a good job of doing that. We just have to get back to that recipe.
Thank you.
All right, next go to Scott.
Yeah, Mahmood. On special teams, why do you think giving up returns has still been an issue? Especially yesterday, I'm thinking about that first kickoff return to special.
I think, people are in position to make plays and people have to get off of blocks. We have to do a better job as a unit of getting off of blocks and finishing the ball carrier when we're down, when we're around the ball carrier. It's not too complicated of a play, shut the block and get the guy on the ground.
Why do you think it's been a recurring thing all year long? Why do you think it hasn't been able to be fixed by now?
I think we just have to take individual ownership as players, it's just what it comes down to in football.
Gotcha. And I got one more. With Miles getting so close to that sack record, you've been with him for a couple of years now. Like, was there a wow moment you had? I'm sure you have a lot to pick from, but is there something that jumps out and said, "Oh my God, this is why Miles is as great as he is"?
I mean, Miles is just, he's incredibly consistent. He's obviously been immensely blessed with natural abilities, and he strives and he works hard at his craft every single day. And it's kind of a no-brainer why he can produce the way he can produce. I mean, since I came in here 3 years ago, I thought he would break the sack record then. And obviously now he's having that type of season, and that's the type of player he is. He's a Mount Rushmore type of player, greatest of all time type of player. So I've been blessed to sit back and watch him work and learn from him and experience and be part of the experience too.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any other questions for Mammud? Guys, a few seconds.